everybody, welcome back to Family Firearm Reviews. Today we're going to check out the KelTec P17. Now, we're in a little bit of a different setting. Usually the range is behind me, but when we got home we noticed that we had some issues with our microphones and we actually didn't capture the sound. So this is a take two here. So bear with me, we're going to run through everything again and we're going to go over the features, we're going to go over the numbers on this firearm and get them checked out. So let's get right down into the numbers with that. We do have a barrel length of 3.8 inches. We have an overall length of 6.7 inches. We have an overall height of 5.3 inches and an overall width of 1.2 inches. We're running around a 14 ounce, well, just under 14 ounces when we are fully loaded. Now we're running about a 3.2 pound trigger. So just over that 3 pound trigger that KelTec says we have. It's a nice short reset on there too, about 1/4 of an inch. Then you're back on that hard wall and right back on that trigger. It is a very nice trigger. It feels good for a 22 LR. It's a little bit different than some of the other polymer frame firearms we have out there. Some of the really neat features that come with this KelTec are the slide itself. So you can see right here, the slide is very skinny, and this is actually part of the polymer lower. The only metal piece is this piece right here. Everything else on the firearm is polymer, so it's a little bit unique in that way. Now we do have a fiber optic front sight. We have a blacked out rear that is adjustable, so you can adjust your sights. And if you look right here, it does look like it's optics ready, but it is not. That is actually just holding all of the components on the top of this slide together. The gun is a little different. It is actually bolted together. It's not like sealed together like some of the other firearms we have out there. So that's something a little different. They did that to keep the budget down. Now it does come with 3 mags, which is pretty cool. You do get 3 16-round mags, and they load very nicely. I'll do a little video of that and show you that too. But they load very nice. There's nothing to pull down. It stacks really nice in this mag, so that is a nice feature. It does come suppressor ready. It comes with a bushing and a tool. So you do get the tools in these little bags right here. You get the tool to remove the cap on there and put the bushing on here for your suppressor. And then you also get the tool to change your optics. You can work on those too. You also get the KelTec trigger lock right here, which is a nice feature if this is going to be one of the training guns you get or something you get for the first time. Now, back on the firearm, you have the typical KelTec grip right here. There is no, serrations or any grip right here on the back of the gun. No texture at all. It's all very flat. You have that typical KelTec grip. You can get a decent grip on the firearm. It is a squared off trigger guard, as you can see, so you can't get a real high undercut. That's because the mag release is right here. You do have an ambi mag release right there on that trigger guard, and then you do have an ambi safety on both sides of the firearm. That's easy for you to get to. It's very nice and light. The slide stop or slide release is right here only for the right hand side. You can't swap that. It does have a bit of a buildup right here around it, so I noticed that when I was messing with it, when I bump it, you really got to make sure you're on that slide stop, slide release. The trigger curve is nice. It fits well in your hand. It's not a very thick firearm, very comfortable, and you do have an indicator here on the rear to show you when it is ready to go. It turns red in this square, and then when you depress the trigger and you fire it, it goes away. So that is part of a little safety feature. You know when the firearm is cocked and ready to go for you. So we are going to do our typical 3 kinds of ammo. We want to see if it's going to be finicky with any kind of ammo we have out there. It is a budget pistol. This was, the cheapest pistol out there. It runs about the $179 to $199 range. The Phoenix Arms, which we did a review on, was actually the cheapest 22 until now. So this is actually taking its place. But the ammo we are going to run, we're going to run some Federal 36 grain. We're going to pull 50 rounds out of this box. We are going to run some Winchester. This is also 36 grain. They're all jacketed hollow points. And then we are going to run some lead nose golden bullets right here that are 40 grain. So we're going to see if any of these have any issues throughout the day, and hopefully we get everything through very nicely. One thing I did miss in the features was this does have a front pick rail. I don't know how I missed it, totally didn't say it. But it is a little short, so you may have to limit what kind of light laser you'd want to put on here. It's not as long as some of the others we have out there. So now to the important stuff, we're going to get out to the range. So with these KelTec mags, it's actually kind of nice. They don't have any of the followers that you pull down. You can actually just feed them in there one at a time. And it seems like they're going to stack very nicely. Very easy to get these rounds in there. Now remember, there's 16 plus 1 in the chamber will give you 17. Drop that one. But it seems very nice and easy to load. You can see there's a little window here. You can see them getting stacked up nicely. So this is already kind of a nice mag design in my opinion. It doesn't leave that room for error in some of the other ones, but we'll see how it goes throughout the day. So out here with our KelTec P17, we've got our first 16 round mag. which I was doing the math because I was loading the box and I've already got 48 rounds with the other two. So the 3 mags that it does come with is a nice bonus because you know it's always hard to find mags, especially when they don't cross with a few other firearms. Especially in this day and age, we all know that mags are hard to come by. So I will look up the price of these, but when it came with 3, I thought that was just a great value for that $179 range where we got it for. They do jump up a little bit to about the $199 range now because they are showing that they are fairly reliable. So let's see how reliable they really are. Man, it is a lot of fun. Man, it is a lot of fun. That front green fiber optic sight is super easy to pick up. The slide release slide stop right here does have a bit of a ridge on the side right here. So when you go to hit it, I did hit that by accident one time thinking that was it, but it is a little bit raised higher than that. I mean, that's the only thing that I've run into in these first 48 shots that, you know, really bothers me. The trigger is very light. It caught me off guard the first time I pulled the trigger. I'm used to more of those 5-pound, 6-pound triggers that we have on our striker-fired firearms. So that's kind of cool. I really like this. So let's keep going.
So I'm going to take my 48 rounds through the KelTec. I love 22s. They all have their little issues, but that doesn't bother me at all. Kyle had mentioned that these mags seemed a little easier to load and like the bullets were sitting a little bit better, which is, you know, notoriously an issue with 22 and 22 LRs. So we'll see if there's any better experience with that today. Oh, we got a whole bunch of stuck in there. Gonna need to. Okay. See where I dropped that at? Try again. I think I jinxed myself. Okay, I'm gonna take another shot at this. Now we rewatched some video and saw that I was hitting the mag release with my support hand, and that's where all of my issues were coming from. So I'm gonna be a little more careful and adjust that hand to make sure that I'm not pushing that down and see if that doesn't alleviate some of my problems. I've got that hand down below there now. Yep, that was my problem. Much better this time.
It's gonna play this game today. So it's throwing the rounds kind of to the side there, not allowing the next one to feed. So it's not really extracting it properly is what it's looking like. Rest of it went pretty good. Now that we have our 200 rounds through, because we just ran the entire 100 round box of the golden bullets, let's get our final thoughts on these first shots. So we've got about 200 rounds through the KelTec. We did run all of the 100 round box of the golden bullets. We really like shooting this. It did have a few malfunctions towards the end with some of that dirtier ammo. It wasn't allowing them to eject, so we did have, I think, 3 or 4 failures like that. But with rimfire, that's something you're going to run into. We've run into that with basically every rimfire we've ever had.
Comes with the territory.
Yep, so we always have a little guide rod that we can push those out with. We have a portable gun cleaning kit that just has the rod and a couple little attachments. So we were able to knock those out and continue to shoot. A lot of the time when you cleared them and just tilted the gun up, they would fall out. So it made it pretty easy. It is weird with the slide and everything like that. And this actually is a hammer-fired 22. It's not a striker-fired, because if you look back here, if you guys can see this, there's a red dot, and when you pull the trigger, that goes away. There's actually an internal hammer in here that I'll tear apart real quick at the end of this video and kind of show you the internals, and it's a real easy takedown on this firearm. So I had a great time shooting it. The sight's easy to pick up. That front green fiber optic was really nice for me. The mag well is very generous. It's easy to funnel those mags up in there, especially in a hurry, because you're going to be running those 22s pretty quick, as you saw. I was able to hit some of the falling steel twice before it fell down, because some of that steel is kind of heavy, designed for our 9mm and our ARs and stuff like that. So it takes a little bit to knock it down. You got to shoot pretty high. So sometimes you can hit those steels and they barely move, but it's a good training tool. The mag release was something that caught Lauren off guard, definitely.
Yeah, I think, we're just taking up such a large proportion of that trigger area with that on both sides. And I wasn't thinking about it at first, and I just kept hitting it on one side, on both sides, on either side. And a lot of what I thought were my malfunctions that I was having from rim fire were actually from bumping that out. Once I adjusted it and was aware of it, I didn't have an issue with that. But it was a weird adjustment at first.
So it is, when you put your support handle on there, depending on how you ride it, it is a weird slide right here because this actually doesn't reciprocate, this stays. As you guys can see right here, I'll grab that slide release right there. That's the only part that moves. So the slide actually is just the metal part on the top. These sides stay where they're at. So it is a little weird. It's a little different of a design, but it worked great. And, for what I thought, the first 200 rounds that we put through this, there were a couple malfunctions, a couple issues, but I don't think that's a really big deal. I think that it'll break in, it'll wear in, I'll take it home, we'll wipe it down. Some of that was pretty dirty, I think. We had a majority of the malfunctions with the Federal. That's where they were kind of just not ejecting, so maybe it doesn't like Federal ammo. Now, disassembly is pretty easy too. We can pop this apart, just pull down these two takedown tabs, and then you got to pull the trigger. And then all you got to do is pull back, lift up, and you can take that apart. And you can see this is the slide. And the slide is very skinny, very small. It's just a thin piece of metal. But inside you can see our fixed barrel with our captured recoil spring. And then right here is that hammer we were talking about right here. It's actually a hammer fired gun, and you can see right there it went off. Right? So it's actually a hammer fired firearm, which is something I wasn't expecting, but saw that going off, saw it going forward. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing, right? What are your thoughts?
I think overall, compared to the other 22 and 22 LR guns that we have that shoot a similar capacity or higher, way less misfire, way less issue, easy to load, easy to change out while you're out there, and you can really put a lot of shots through it and have a lot of fun without a lot of headache. And that's really fun when you're looking for something to take out onto the range and to train and to just shoot for fun. You want to have it be a good and seamless experience, and I'd say that this is really up in the top as far as these kinds of guns that we bring out to shoot.
Yeah, and it's nice. The safety is really easy to flick on, flick off. The release, I did catch me off a little off guard at first. I hit the ramp, you can see right here, maybe a little better. I took that slide off. There's a little ramp here, and I hit that a couple times thinking I was hitting the release or the stop, but it worked pretty good. And then putting it back together is super simple. You just have to put this over the front of the barrel, pull down your takedown lever, pull it all the way back, and then you're able to push down a little bit, slide it back together, let go of that takedown lever, and you're ready to go for the rest of the range. So simple takedown. For a budget firearm, I think this is a good option. It would be nice to have a little bit more stippling in some of these areas, but KelTec, this is the KelTec normal grip that you get.
It's not what you get, yeah.
It's what you get with a budget firearm. So I think we're going to keep testing with this, and I think 1,000 rounds are going to be easy to get through this. We're almost at 50 every time we load all the mags, so I think you'll see another 1,000 round review here pretty quick. We're really enjoying this one. So I hope you liked the video. Hope you liked the content. And if you did like this, we do have some links down below. If you guys will check those out, it goes to our Patreon. We do have a merch shop. We do have a Facebook, and it goes to our Instagram. So if you guys want to check out those links, it'd be great if you want to support us. We are doing this all by our lonesome at present moment, but we're having fun doing it.
Absolutely.
So we're going to keep doing it anyway. But we'll see you guys.
Thanks for watching our video. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. If you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel.
Comment below. We want to hear from you. Get more content from family firearm reviews by joining our Patreon and checking out the links in the description.